I've been the member of the same church for almost 20 years, praying to Jesus. With my Bible. Don't let people turn you around because they're just making stuff up.
I've repeatedly said I don't question the president's faith. I've repeatedly said that I believe the president's Christian. He says he's a Christian, but I am talking about his worldview or his the way he approaches problems in this country, and I think they're different than how most people do in America.
But you have to look at what a person does with his life. Anyone can say that he's a Christian, but you look at, do they live? Where do they go and act?
It's not surprising then that they get better and they cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, and a way to explain their frustrations.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and only Matthew in the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too.
A government based on the simple proposition that all men are created equal. That we're endowed with certain inalienable rights. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created equal. And we are endowed with certain inalienable rights. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created equal.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Endowed with certain inalienable rights.
It's easy.
Why did he omit this part of the Declaration?
I haven't seen the comments, Lester, but I can assure you the President believes in the Declaration of Independence.
Tonight, 18-year-old UCLA student Layla Rose, active in pro-life causes, went undercover to a Planned Parenthood facility in Los Angeles. She implied to the Planned Parenthood person that she was 15 years old and had been impregnated by her 23-year-old boyfriend.
I went in there as a 15-year-old girl, and she immediately was like, oh, you can cover that up and say you're 16, say you're older, so that, you know, your boyfriend won't get, your 23-year-old statutory rapist boyfriend will not get in trouble.
Republicans in Congress threatened to shut down the government unless we stopped funding Planned Parenthood? I had a simple answer. No.
This is a case that's going on right now where we are representing the VFW, the American Legion, and the National Memorial Ladies. We're suing the VA, saying they've got to stop this religious discrimination. They're banning these veterans from saying things like, God bless you, to the families of the deceased.
The White House is still trying to put out the fire created by its plan to have Catholic institutions provide health care insurance for their employees, including access to birth control.
We think this is the right way to go.
So you're not going to change despite what the bishop said?
Our policy is clear.
Starting this year, no American will be forbidden from serving the country they love because of who they love.
President Obama personally apologized to Afghanistan for the burning of the Islamic holy book, the Quran, at a U.S. military base there.
President Obama expressed his deep regret and promised a full investigation.
Bibles written in Pashto and Dari, the two most common Afghan languages. Bibles sent by a church to a U.S. soldier in Afghanistan. Bibles that were later burned by the U.S. government.
U.S. military personnel burned Bibles last year in Afghanistan.
A lot of people that I've talked to want to know, what does Christian mean to Barack Obama? What does Christian mean to Barack Obama? What does Christian mean to Barack Obama?
Here's how I think about it.
We've got to have straight-talking folks who will tell you the truth and be honest with you.
But let me just speak more generally.
We do not consider ourselves a Christian nation or a Jewish nation or a Muslim nation.
But look,
I've been the member of the same church for almost 20 years.
God damn America!
With my Bible.
I am still in the text. Jesus was a poor black man who lived in a country and who lived in a culture that was controlled by rich white people.
Pray to Jesus.
Jesus taught me how to love the hell out of my enemies.
You know, if you've got
which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Should we go with Leviticus, which suggests slavery is okay, and that eating shellfish is an abomination? Or we could go with Deuteronomy, which suggests stoning your child if he strays from the faith? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount, a passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application? So before we get carried away, let's read our Bibles now. Folks haven't been reading their Bible. Folks haven't been reading their Bible. Folks haven't been reading their Bible.
February 2009, Obama announces plans to revoke
November 2011, the Air Force Academy rescinds support for Operation
February 2012, the U.S. Military Academy at West Point disinvites three-star Army general and decorated war hero Lieutenant General William G. Boykin from speaking at an event because he is an outspoken Christian.
2010, Commissioner
while every White House
Chai
traditionally
Feldview,
issues hundreds
March
of
2009, the Obama administration shut off the national motto from attending March 2009.